the awareness belt is also an effective tool to reduce stress. Stress always makes us breathe more, breathe heavier, and often it also makes a person to switch from nasal breathing to mouth breathing. Unfortunately, with stress, it often becomes a vicious circle, which is very difficult to stop. When we are stressed, the body will try to switch us to mouth breathing. And it's very interesting why it happens. You see, in a natural situation, when an animal is facing fight or flight situation, it always needs to take a physical action, fight or run away. And often it's a life-threatening situation, a situation when it's necessary to save life. So at this time, an intelligent body of an animal offers all its resources to it in order to save life. So all, let's say, the whole storage of carbon dioxide is open. Everything is available. It's like a war situation. You know, it's necessary to survive. So it's okay to use the supply of food, for example. And then when this war situation is over, you could start filling up storages with new supplies. So the same thing. In the fight or flight situation, the body offers all the resources. And let's say an animal runs away from danger, metabolism is very active, and it also produces a lot of carbon dioxide. So it's okay during this situation to breathe through the mouth. Unfortunately, with modern people, it's rather different. We still have this pattern of switching to mouth breathing and using all the resources in case of stress. But instead of running away, we often sit on a couch or call a friend, but we switch into the same breathing as we run away. So during stress, a person often starts breathing through the mouth. Breathing becomes much heavier, and since it's not supported by active metabolism, a person loses a lot of carbon dioxide. So stress is truly very harmful for breathing and health. Unfortunately, when a person switches to this pattern, sometimes it continues. So stress is over, but a person habitually continues breathing through the mouth and often being inactive and continues losing vital carbon dioxide and continues damaging his health. It's very important to stop this process. How to do that? Well, if you are truly stressed out, it's always a good idea to do something physical. It's kind of interesting what you can do. Anyway, if you could go for a walk, jump a couple of times or even run, this is a good idea. But of course, it's much more important to control your breathing. So make sure that you don't switch to mouth breathing. Please make sure that as soon as your breathing becomes heavier, you modify it. And in this case, a belt sometimes is a very good solution. So when you put the belt on in a way that it's just slightly touching your skin, it doesn't really bother you. But then if you are stressed and if you switch into deep breathing, the belt reminds you about it. The belt will become rather uncomfortable. And again, it will be a good reminder that you need to modify your breathing. So this is the reason why we call it the awareness belt. Sometimes when a person is stressed out, he or she are totally engaged into whatever is happening around, so they totally forget about their breathing. And the belt will remind you about your breathing, and in this case you could modify it right away. So that will stop this vicious circle of being stressed, switching to deep breathing, and creating more stress. Because mouth breathing is perceived by our bodies as stress. Another interesting aspect of the whole story is that even when nothing really stressful is going on in a person's life, but if a person breathes through their mouth, they will perceive the events of their life as stressful. Because mouth breathing is like a message to the body that it's a fight or flight situation. You know, it's a known effect of the breathing normalization method that when people switch to shallow breathing, they become much calmer. So there is a connection between stress and breathing. Another interesting thing is that our bodies in general perceive an excitement as stress. So of course, you know, a negative excitement is perceived as stress. This is very easy to understand. But often a positive excitement is also perceived by a human body as stress. Some people, especially children with breathing difficulties, when they simply get excited or start laughing too much, they immediately have breathing difficulties or an asthma attack. And that's because any kind of excitement supports hyperventilation. Any kind of excitement, but you know, first of all, the negative one makes us breathe more and breathe deeper. So for people who are seriously ill, it's really important to protect their mental environment and to create at least certain peace and tranquility there. Breathing exercises and the belt, as well as other breathing normalization recommendations, will help you to achieve this goal.